Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Two renewals to talk about today. Great start to the Mercato. Let's get straight into it, man. I'm excited about this one. We've been waiting for this one for such a long time. Alessandro Bastoni renews with Inter, pen to paper until 2028. Look, he is here at Inter HQ to commemorate his signing of this new contract, and here the official Inter website confirming everything. Inter and Bastoni together until 2028. It's fantastic news, guys. The 24-year-old defender has extended until 2028. You know, this guy, we know he is a Interista through and through. Grew up as an Interista, so he's one of those guys that I always would want to be the spine of my team, of the club that I support. You know, we know who the guys are, him, Barella, these types of guys that have grown up supporting Inter. Italian, of course, that Italian core. It's fantastic to see. Look at him. He's looking great, signing the new contract, suited and booted. He's got his Louis V belt on as well. Lovely pictures, lovely day in Milan by the looks of it. And yeah, I couldn't be happier, man. Couldn't be happier. 24 years of age. He started off this past season, he started off quite shaky. But of course, yeah, for 24-year-old as a defender that's still very, very young. Defenders, centre backs peak later on in their careers, but we know Bastoni is one of the best centre backs in world football when it comes to ball playing ability, left foot. Some midfielders would be jealous to have the left foot that Bastoni has, but he's also good defensively. I still, not 100% convinced by him as a defender, as a pure defender, but that's modern football. You're not going to get the Walter Samuels anymore these days, but he's definitely improving on that. But on ball playing ability wise, Lisandro Martinez, maybe Josco Guardiol, Laporte. There's only a few guys that can really chat to him when it comes to ball playing ability from the back, and it's really a unique ability of his. And the one team that always scares me that comes for Bastoni is Man City, and luckily they've got Guardiola now. So yeah, Spurs I was never scared about last year. This guy actually, we know rejected Spurs outright. Spurs wanted to start negotiations. This guy was like, "Don't waste your time. I want to stay at Inter." And now he's actually, we know we were all scared about, is it going to be like the Skriniar situation? He was going to get into his final year of his contract this coming season, but not to be, not to be. And then the next one, HAKAN Calhanoglu, this guy renewing with Inter until 2027, so just 1 year less than Basto. Of course, we know HAKAN is 29 as well, so he is slightly older. Same announcements from Inter. You guys know my history with HAKAN. I was always in favor of his signing. Free transfer made sense to replace Eriksson after what happened to him, but I wasn't a big fan of him as a player. I trusted Inzaghi's judgment to turn him into his Luis Alberto, and he did, definitely. But I still wasn't a fan of him as a mezzala. But then last season, once he turned into that CDM role, once he had to take over from Brozovic, I could never imagine that I would become a Hakan fan. And in that role, I became a Hakan fan. And this guy was one of the MVPs of the season, as we discussed already. And he's literally the Brozovic replacement. I mean, they're giving him the Brozovic contract. I know we need to clarify a few things. There's a tweet here by IFTV, but they haven't put any sources there. But these are the figures that we're being talked about for a few months now with their renewals. Bastoni on 5.5 million net a year, taking him in that upper echelon of earners in Serie A, and Hakan as exactly the Brozovic contract, if it's true, 6 to 6.5 million a year net, which will make him the highest paid in the team alongside Lautaro Martinez. Bastoni, is fine. That is, when this guy you rating centre back 50, 60, 70 million, he needs to be paid according to that. It is what it is. Hakan, I just hope this situation doesn't turn out to be with the Brozovic, because 6.5 million is around 11, 12 million gross for Inter, which is really hitting the roof of Inter salary budget. And as we saw with Brozo, had to be forced out because of that salary as well. But of course, other reasons as well with Brozovic, as we know now. So I just hope that this situation doesn't become a burden on Inter with Hakan. But I'm happy they do deserve their renewals, and especially with Hakan, if he continues the performance they did last year as MVP, the type of MVP level and consistent. That's the thing with Hakan. There's always been the doubt with Hakan when you ask Milan fans, over the years, and us as well. Like even when he was playing first season, he had a good season, but there was highs and lows. Last season he was consistent. Obviously, he had that stinker of a Champions League final. But again, what position was that in? The Mezzala position, which hopefully now means we don't see Hakan in that position anymore, because I just don't think he suits it as much. Of course, he's got big boots to fill with Brozovic leaving. Every negative performance, I know a lot of you are going to pick out all the negative performances to say, look, this is why we shouldn't have sold Brozo into, sold Brozovic for 18 million. Look, this is what you deserve. So I hope Hakan can continue his performances from last season, and I hope Bastoni just continues improving as he has been over the last few years and becomes a linchpin at the back, and maybe a future captain, Bastoni for sure. But yeah, this transfer window has now started much better now, hasn't it? Over the last few weeks since it officially opened on the 1st of July. At the beginning, we were moaning last, couple of weeks ago, but now Gagliardini gone. I mean, that's the perfect start to the Mercato. Dalbert gone, another beautiful thing. Obviously, we didn't have no control over it. There was just, free agents now. But then these two renewals, Bisek, Thuram, Frattesi today. Frattesi is having his medicals today, later on today, 7 p.m. Italian time. According to reports, he will be having his medical today, finalizing his arrival at Inter. So 3 great new incoming transfers and some, deadwood leaving. 2 really, really important renewals done. So what we're waiting for now, guys, you guys know, same as last summer. Remember when, we signed Aslani, Bellanova, Lukaku was done. Like, we had a great start to the Mercato, but we were waiting for that kick in the nuts, which was initially the Bremer deal falling through, the Dybala deal falling through. Then we thought, keeping Skriniar was a, great way, but then, it turned out that maybe it wasn't so great. So the kick in the nut, you guys know what it is. The Onana deal at the moment. It looks like United keep progressing. I still have hope just because it's United and the transfer, that their takeover that's going on at the moment with the Qatari is kind of stalling. So my hope remains that they don't meet this 60 million euro price that Inter have set, which I still feel like it's low. I hope we keep Onana, but at the same time, I'm not on the boat of some Interisti where it seems like we can't play football without Onana. Same as, surely, guys, now we found out, like, we saw the same with Skriniar, when Perisic leaving. Like, it feels like, of course, these are super important players, but it depends on who you replace them with. That's the most important thing. But I also want it to be a statement, like we did with Skriniar last year, that, you meet the matching the set price, but also like just make a statement, like, we're not just a selling club now. They can't just come and take our best players. We sold Brozovic, we sold one big guy, so I want, this statement that, we're keeping Onana. But that is the kick in the nut we're waiting for. Let's see what happens. Last thing before we go today, the fixture list for 2023-24 has been announced today, and Inter will kick off their 2023-24 campaign against Monza at home. Monza, of course, a bit of a bogey team. I mean, historically, we haven't played that many times, but from last season, we lost to them at home and we drew to them away. So definitely not an easy start to the season. But let's see what type of Monza, after Berlusconi's death, they seem to be in a bit of a weird transition period for them. We don't know whether they'll be sold as a club or not. Then Cagliari, the newly promoted team, and then Fiorentina straight away in the third, and then Milan derby straight away again, 4th match day, which will probably be around the Champions League time as well. So again, an early Milan derby, just like last year. So not an easy start to the season, but not too bad either. And then we've got some trickier fixtures towards the end. We've got a packed end fixture list with Juve, Napoli, Udinese and Lazio all close up together. That's going to be a tricky period. So that's definitely when Inzaghi's going to have to rotate people around. But yeah, guys, that was the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bastoni, HAKAN, great renewals. So happy. You guys let me know down in the comments down below in terms of your thoughts. I'm sure everyone's happy about the Bastoni renewal. What do you make of the HAKAN renewal? What do you make of the salaries, reported salaries, and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, let's see what the Mercato has in store for us, whether that kick in the nut comes. Ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.